Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Art of Manifesting Money. Today we have the wonderful Holly Signorelli with us, the money therapist, and we're so excited to have you. How are you, Holly?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am so excited to be interviewing you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. This is an incredible summit that you've put together.
Oh, thanks. I've been having a lot of fun, and I have been learning myself, about, so much information, so many amazing women that I have come together, and I can't tell you enough how I am honored to have you with me on this journey.
Well, I'm super excited to be here. This is amazing.
Well, I just want to hear what you're doing, and I want to know about Holly.
Okay. Well, part of my story kind of starts back when I was around 10 years old, and this is just a brief story, but I was a highly competitive gymnast, and I had sprained my wrist, and I never had missed a meet. I always went to a meet, the gymnastics meet, and I would always win something, and just because I was so highly competitive. And I was laying in bed, and I was praying so hard, like the strongest prayer a 10-year-old, would have. And, when you're 10, you don't have resistance. I was like, I can't miss this meet. I've never missed a meet, and I can't have a sprained wrist. And then suddenly I saw a green hand on my wrist, and I was completely healed from my sprain, like instantly. And as a 10-year-old, I didn't question it. I just simply accepted that God answered my prayer. And I ran down the hall, and I told my parents, I was like, oh, Mom and Dad, I healed myself. God healed me. And they were very receptive of that because they believed in healing. So there was no resistance there. So I know a lot of people don't have that kind of upbringing. You hear a lot of stories, but that was something that was very fortunate for me. So when you fast forward, when I started my company, I was about 26 years old. Because that happened to me at such a young age, I have always believed that I can make anything happen if I just absolutely believe in that. So whatever your higher power is, if you call that God or the universe, however your belief system is, it's really about believing that you can do what you're setting out to do. And it doesn't matter how big or small that is, because I really, truly believe that we were made in God's likeness, that He literally gave us this gift. And somewhere along the way, a lot of people, due to different kinds of religions, because we know there's a lot of fighting in the whole world with religions, right? I mean, there's some religions that think that other religions shouldn't even exist. Exactly. But if you take that out of it and you believe that, wow, I'm a creator too, I can create what I want, then the only thing that stands in the way is your own mind and your own questioning of yourself, which is a human nature. To look at, you might be in the middle of creating something that you believe in or that you want so badly, and then all of a sudden these doubts come up and questions and even full-on fears. So for me, in my entire practice, which I sold last year, is I use a lot of tools to keep me in that very high, happy place. And the easiest one is to meditate. And a lot of people don't realize that meditation doesn't have to be complicated.
That's awesome. That's true.
They're like, oh, I have to go to this crazy silent place. Well, that's a great place to go to, but what if your meditation was just getting up in the morning and spending 15 minutes being completely grateful for everything that you have? Yep. Or maybe if something's not going the way you want, be grateful that you know what you don't want so that you can create what you do want, in contrast.
Correct.
So, yeah, if you start your day that way, then you've already kind of given yourself that boost. And a lot of things that I do, too, is when I find myself at the office or in a personal problem trying to figure out the solution or to get back to that happy space, is I'll use different kinds of tarot cards. You can really connect to a tarot card, and you can ask a question or just have, some kind of confirmation, like, is this the way to go?
Right.
You're following your intuition.
Correct.
But you're still using these tools. And then, of course, the best thing you can do is surround yourself with other people that believe in this form of energy so that you can work with those people or be friends with those people and call somebody and say, hey, I'm not quite feeling the way I want to today, so they can kind of walk you through that too. And
that's awesome.
And if you put those things together, if you really do something that you love and that you're passionate about, then you're always going to make money. You're always going to be successful, because the truth is, whether you make money or you're looking for love or whatever it is, you want to get in the best shape of your life, you can do it if you just literally believe that you can, and you allow it to come to you without any kind of negative feelings. Or there's a lot of guilt on this planet,
Yes.
Like, people feel bad sometimes if they're doing well. Like, if a lot of people are hurting in the economy and you're doing well, sometimes people feel guilty. And then that's how they actually block their own success.
And we all go through that in some point of our life. And like you said, I do the same as you. For the last couple of years, I've been doing meditating in the morning and at night. And I actually have earphones in my when I go to sleep. So I'm able to do it on a subconscious level. And so
that's excellent.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for the last couple of years, and it literally has changed my whole world. But before that, I did have that, I didn't know how I was going to work it in, or I thought I'd be weird if I was meditating.
Yes, a lot of people say that. They're like, I don't have time for that. But when I started to do it in the morning, I was like, well, I can't wake up early. Like if I'm already waking up early, do I want to wake up? One of my friends said that they would wake up an hour earlier and do it for an hour. And again, meditation comes in all different forms. If people didn't make such a big deal out of it or think it's only supposed to be a certain way, so what I do is I call it the Holly hour now. I wake up and I just do whatever I feel like. And sometimes I do go into those great trances. And then other times I'm just being appreciative and happy, or I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just staying in that zone, that vibe. And it's such a great way to start your day. And then you go out into the world, and then when you're around negativity, it just doesn't bother you.
Exactly. Because sometimes we're around so many people, and you know how it is when you're out there trying to get stuff done. You are conversing with so many people of so many different types, and you do have to have that shield. Yes,
and that shield, it's just metaphorical, like kind of put that little brick wall up, and you're not necessarily, that doesn't mean that you can't connect to someone, but that shield that you put up can keep their negative energy from getting on you. Just like when you go to the bank and someone's complaining to the teller and you see people squirming in line because they're uncomfortable with the negative energy, even if they're not even aware that they're squirming. And then the next thing you know, the next person is complaining too, because it triggers something that's already inside of them. So, negative energy can it's like a wildfire,
Yes.
So you have to use these tools to be able to clear that. Yeah. And one of the things that I will say, and I think this is really, really important, because you do have to really grasp this, but when I started my company, I think I had about like 50 clients at the time in the accounting world. And then every day I would just say one simple prayer: just send me clients that can benefit from my service, that we can have a great relationship at the same time, that it would be a happy relationship between me and the client, they would be happy, and that I could take care of them. And then I would always end it with that I want to make a lot of money doing it, because what better way to make money than by doing something that you love and that your clients are super, super happy. They want to pay you because you've given them peace and peace of mind. And that was my company. What grew without any marketing whatsoever. It was just people would come to me, or I'd meet them places, not even networking events. And
oh my God, I'm laughing because that is exactly how I've grown mine.
Are you serious? I love it.
It's to the exact. I've never done any marketing. They just come.
Yeah, I mean, I would have a website out there, but it was like literally the cheapest website.
That
was like a cookie cutter tax one. So if somebody was looking on the internet, I would come up on the search engine. Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally did the same exact thing. So it works.
Yeah, and interestingly, when I sold the company, I kind of was like, oh, this is all I had ever done my whole life. I mean, we're talking about 26 years. So I had, because I sold it, I did have, it's not, a CPA firm doesn't sell for like multi-millions or anything like that.
Course.
But it gave me a chance to take a couple of months to really, step into this new space. And I noticed that I wasn't doing that. Like it was weird. Like I had to remind myself again. So we always have to remind ourselves. We always have to remember, going back to those beautiful memories that we have where, things came to us easily, because even though we all work passionately when we love something that we do, and there's always time where there's a deadline, we have to work extra hours. But the truth is, you don't really have to work hard to do well. Just be passionate and allow that receiving energy to come to your life, the clients to come to you, the money to come to you, which can come in all different forms. And, I don't know who made up the 40-hour work week, but I don't subscribe to that. I don't.
Right.
I have 40-hour work weeks, but I don't by any means feel that I have to do that in order to be successful. That's just something somebody made up along the way, a corporation that, was having employees and wanted them to work that many hours. So, you get to choose you get to create your life. So because of that, you can decide how many hours that you want to work and how much you want to make. And then that's where the creativity comes in.
And I love that. And, because I've been in the corporate world for so long, and then I branch out and have my own business for so many years now, that the first year, I had trouble. I mean, if I wasn't working all the time, I felt like I was slacking.
Yes, I felt that way right after the sale, too. I was like, why aren't I busy? And then I was like, wait a second, why can't I be busy for just a month or two doing just the things that I love to do? Why does it have to be work? Why do I have to work Monday through Friday? I had to go through that, too. Just like, wait a second.
Right.
It's like it's okay to take a break.
Right, and that's whenever I started discovering working on the inside to create what I wanted on the outside and incorporating, the spirituality and everything, just like you're doing. And, that's why we connect so well. And now you see the fruit of what we're doing.
Yes. And it's interesting, too, because right after the sale, even though I was moving away from accounting, I actually had three different people come to me that was also very synchronistic. There was absolutely no marketing involved, to do three $10,000 tax returns. And I wasn't doing $10,000 tax returns in my firm, I was working with business owners, but no one was paying $10,000 for a tax return. So it's crazy. It's like the universe just gave me that little boost, like, okay, now you just have to deal with 3 people and you're still getting money. And it was weird, like some other things like that kept happening just over the months. Or I got a bonus from somebody that I had taken really good care of, and it was just like, okay, what's happening, you know? And then I remember I did have like still, because we're human, this thought like, wait, this is too easy. And then I actually had a couple of weeks that were tight. And it was funny because it was like, hey, wait a second, Holly, you resisted. Everything was too good to be true. So again, we have to surround ourselves with like-minded people and use these tools so we can stay in that happy place, because so many people are really hurting when it comes to things that have to do with finances and business and love and happiness. There's a lot of unhappiness there. So to create a change globally for that, we got to really stay up there where we can help the most people that we can.
I love it. I love your story, and I love our connection, and our audience is going to love you as well, because you just have so many great things under your belt that you're doing now, that you've done, and your experience. And like I said, you're just, no matter what the income level is, no matter, you know, what your status is in life at the moment, you can create what you want to create. You can dig deep within and be abundant in every area.
Yeah, you know, money is just another form of energy, and it's hard. People still think of money as finite because they think there's a certain number of dollars circulating, but the truth is money can come to you in a source that you're not even thinking of. So if you're out there and you have some debts and things, then trust me, there will be miraculous, incredible ways to get those paid if you won't tell the universe how. Just like The Secret says, most people have listened to The Secret, and, you know, it says not to worry about the how. Let the universe figure that part out. Just ask for it and do what you love and you're passionate about.
And that, like you're saying, I was one that didn't understand that because, you know, I started at 30, like my business at 30, and I'm still growing and learning. And just recently, over the last few years, I have got that money is energy, and I have to keep reminding myself when things start going if you start seeing the money dropping, or so, I just have to keep on believing, and then first it'll come back.
Right. And sometimes it just takes a couple of days to flip that energy because you know better. It's just that, again, there's a lot of pain out there, so sometimes we still kind of go back down into that, and then we remind ourselves that of something just like my story, even though it was about healing myself versus money, it's all the same. It's all the same. Like as a 10-year-old with no resistance whatsoever, not only did I go to the meet the next day and compete, but I won a title. I mean, that doesn't even make sense, right?
Yay,
in the logical world. So if someone can do that, anyone can do that. And same with money. It's no different. It's just about your beliefs. So I'm going to leave you with one more thing for everyone. If you're feeling really like your head is spinning, you got that continuous loop in your head and you want to change it, but it just keeps spinning and spinning in your head, do something that reminds you of when you were 10, because this applies to everyone. Most people at 10 were just very happy-go-lucky and you know, didn't overthink things. So when you were 10, you would go swing on the swing set. And sometimes I do that. I'm right by a park. Like, you just go up there and swing on the swing set. And then you'll feel like you're 10, and you'll feel alive. And you won't even be thinking about anything. It's just glorious. Or go color in a coloring book. You know, they have these adult coloring books now. They're so fun.
They are fun.
Yes, I love them. And again, it gets you in that 10-year-old mentality of life is perfect and amazing. There's no resistance or anything like that. Just something that you did when you were 10 that you loved. It was wonderful. And then you get out of your head. I mean, and then the other alternative I would tell you is recently I was kind of spinning in my head like that too. And I went and did a kickboxing class. And I hadn't done it for a couple of years. So you know how that is. If you have been working out, but you go do a new workout, it kicks your butt. Boy, it did. But by the time I was done with that class, I had come up with a solution. Because the solution will never show up in that spinning brain of yours. You got to access the creative side.
And that's movement, right?
That's right. Like, get out of your head. Get the endorphins going. Or when you're doing a hard workout and you're getting sore and stuff, you're not even thinking about the problem anymore. And that's when the answers come, because you already know the answer. You already know. It's just being blocked because of the stress. And you can't be creative when you're stressed.
That's
it's a different
beautiful
part of your brain.
Yeah, and I really love that. I love the way that sounds, because sometimes I'm guilty of that all the time. You know, I'm so busy and I can't get out moving, and I'm stuck at the desk and I'm wondering what's, going on, and then you just have to keep remembering to move.
Yeah, because by taking that 10 or 15 minutes, you'll probably add about 2 hours to your day. Because when you're stuck at the desk feeling that way, you're not being productive, so you're just wasting time anyway. So taking time for yourself actually expands the time in your day. I promise.
That's amazing. Well, tell us about your offering today for everyone.
Oh, excellent. My offering is I have a debt-free lifestyle video course. It's just 4 videos. They're not too long. You could listen to them all the same. They're meant to be once a week because there's action items in each one. They're very simple because the point of the course is not to tell you how to technically get out of debt. I touch on that briefly, but it's really about the emotions and self-sabotage mechanisms that keep us there. So then you can be aware of those things and change your pattern. Just like with anything. If you go on a diet but you don't change the pattern, then you're right back where you were, right? So
correct.
That's what this course is about. It's a very lighthearted course, but it'll really make you think about how you spend in a loving way.
That sounds so amazing. And, Holly, I want to thank you again for joining me on my journey and helping me get the word out to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I am so excited to do this with you.
Oh, thank you so much. And there will be more of this.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait.
Have a good one.
You too, girl. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're done.